The human body. When you sit and think about it, we are truly incredible organisms. I mean, while we all look different physically, at the end of the day, our bodies are basically an abstract cloud of information that emerges from multiple processes, calculations, predictions, and memories within our brains that use our nerves to basically pilot our meat-bone mecha bodies. This is our true form right here, and it makes you feel like a Titan Shifter from AOT, or more like Krang from TMNT. Or our spirit ghosts are the ones controlling the meat-bone mecha we are. But our mecha is a genius of adaptation, but also self-healing over time with no conscious effort. But what if you could heal fast, like instant regeneration? And how much stronger could a person get realistically with that ability? We've all seen Wolverine Healing, hell, X-Men 97 just came out too, which is pretty dope, not gonna lie. Deadpool as well, not to mention Senzu Beans from Dragon Ball Z, and recently Solo Leveling's anime made this a big point on how Sung Jin Woo boosted his training and physical prowess, but also the new healer, and not that one! The new healer anime, The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic, made this its primary setup, using healing magic to recover instantly so you could keep working out. So, would this make you super strong? Would this make you jacked faster? Or would it just let you work out more often? Well, today, let's talk about that in depth from a fitness science perspective. But, as y'all know, I would love to regenerate like Wolverine and stay perpetually looking 25, and while we don't have that tech readily available yet, we do have this.
This video is sponsored by Use Healinng. Now again, as a 90s kid millennial who is 33 currently, I think I still look pretty good, you know? And I've heard the memes that Gen Z is aging faster for some reason, and I just want to stay looking healthy and fit for a long time like a Saiyan. And besides a solid training program and a good nutrition plan, I've been making sure to take good care of my hygiene as well. Use Healinng skincare makes taking care of your skin incredibly easy and effective for any dude trying to improve their appearance. It comes with a 4-step follow-along process when you wake up and before bed, and helps get the dirt and grime off your skin at those times. The morning moisturizer helps protect against the sun, and the night one takes care of you when you are sleeping. I've been using Use Healinng for the last couple years before they sponsored me, and I think it just basically the icing on the cake. I think it's just like, you know, you do this along with your training and diet, and it's gonna make you look even better. That's my personal opinion, that's my personal experience. But again, start today, and a few weeks from now you'll see noticeable differences. By the way, both gifts you're choosing from are a $20 value and complete game changers: a silicone body scrubber or a nail and face grooming kit. Personally, I prefer the nail clippers because I bite my nails an unhealthy amount. So don't wait any longer. Click the first link in the description to start your skincare journey now. Back to super healing.
So let's say hypothetically you can heal fast, but we'll talk about it in two ways. One, auto healing like Wolverine, and two, secondary healing like if you're in solo leveling where you fully recover, or like if you're taking a Senzu Bean and fully recover. But first, let's talk about how you actually build muscle. Bear time! So don't worry, we're gonna go over this real quickly, just muscle building 101. I'll make this super easy to understand, and it's just to help with like the meat of the video later, so you just got like a good basis. So don't worry, let's blow through this. All right, so here's a normal muscle. And when you work out, whether it be with calisthenics or weights or whatever, you cause a little damage to that muscle, and your body will start to send out these little satellite cells, which will start to help you recover. But then you also got to eat and sleep properly if you want to fully recover, which we'll talk about in a second. But like, here's what happens if you just get those satellite cells and then you eat sort of like, I'm not really caring what I eat, I'm not really focusing on my sleep enough, and you get like partial results. All right, so here's the thing. This is something that some people don't realize, all right? So like, if you're working out and you're not like eating or sleeping enough, you can get some results, but it's nowhere near as good. It's nowhere near as good as what you can be getting. Like, this is for people who are like, I'm not getting enough food, I'm stressed out, I gotta just do what I gotta do. And that's how, you know, you can go from like this to like little more muscularity. Like, you will see the muscularity start to develop. It just won't be as pronounced as if you were really focusing on what I always like to talk about, the 3-leg stool of fitness, which again, it means your sleep, your food intake, and your training. Says if one of these legs is off, the entire thing falls apart. And I've talked about that in depth numerous times. Go check out my playlist on it. But the thing that's important about this is, again, if you really want your muscle to grow like this instead of like this, you gotta make sure this 3-leg stool of fitness is on point. Like, if you're sleeping enough, that means your body can fully recover, fully cellularly repair. I just fumbled that word up, but it's all good. And then, of course, you gotta be getting in your essential amino acids from like foods and stuff like that. So non-essential ones is the ones that your body makes up. Essential is stuff that you have to get from, you know, your diet and stuff like that. So like protein, stuff like that, because all that does is it helps you rebuild the muscle. I want to make this super easy to understand, not like, oh, this is super complicated or anything like that. So again, you train, You cause a little bit of tears, and then you recover fully, it gets back to its max potential. But if you don't recover fully, it's not gonna get back to the, max potential because you're not like eating enough and you're not getting enough sleep and all that stuff. So when we talk about healing, this is where it gets really interesting. Now, if you could heal quickly, I really do think this depends on what type of healing ability you have. Because Senzu Bean Healing is said to give you all the nutrients you need and heal wild stuff like this, which doesn't really make sense when you think about it because it probably keep falling at that hole, but basically just make you feel 100% fresh again, well rested, and full of vigor. And the way it works in these two shows is after training, it fully recovers their bodies instantly, and they both gradually get more muscular, so the magic is giving them some nutrients. And even in the healer anime, our boy is able to go running and then heal himself mid-run so he can keep running as well. So honestly, for them, that's a lot of magical BS. But hypothetically, if you could heal whenever you wanted, you could become very athletic and very strong very fast, because there's so many things you don't have to worry about. Injuries are now a thing of the past. No more accidental tears, dislocations, breaks, sprains, or strains, or anything like that. All those could be healed on the spot. Matter of fact, this is the time overtraining could actually be effective without the danger of frying your central nervous system or rhabdomyolysis, where your muscle tissue breaks down and you start to pee Coca-Cola. Because you have to also take into account how fatigue hits you during your workouts. For example, let's say you do a typical hour workout. When you start, you're fresh and at your strongest, but as the workout goes on, fatigue begins to set in gradually, and now you can't lift as heavy on certain exercises as you could at the beginning. With healing, that's a non-issue. Hell, we saw Goku train for 6 days straight on his way to Namek, spamming Senzu Bean heals for his workouts, which probably took the entire day for when he wasn't sleeping or eating. Goku is usually all about rest and recovery, but since he was in a bind, those Senzu Bean heals plus Zenkai boost helped him a lot. Not to mention the art style gave him a boost, which you can see like from here to here, there is a noticeable difference, and I talk about that in depth in this video right here. But also think of when you're doing high intensity cardio. You get gassed, your lungs hurt, your joints hurt, etc., and you just can't maintain that pace. When you can heal like this, your body will let you keep recovering. Though I think something important to bring up here is what type of auto healing it is. For this to boost you to new levels, there's a difference between putting in work, finishing a draining routine, and then recovering, to consistently healing during the workout like Wolverine, or a reverse curse technique from JJK where you consistently refill your energy so you can maintain what you are doing, but not necessarily get tired when you're doing what you're doing. So in the comics, besides the artist choosing to draw Wolverine this way, one of the reasons Wolverine is buff is due to the body needing excess muscle for his adamantium skeleton, and also making him naturally muscular prior, like an animal reaching their genetic peak, sort of like, you see these buff animals here. Also, there's a phenomenal video by Kyle Hill on if Wolverine could be a bodybuilder due to his healing, which is great as well, and brings up so many valid points. But I'm going to talk about this more of if you're just working out in general with different type of stuff. Now, because this is a sci-fi, fantasy, hypothetical situation, I have gone back and forth on my answer, but this is what I personally believe what would happen if you could heal automatically, like instantly without even thinking about it. Matter of fact, there's a great sketch by the buff dudes on Wolverine working out before a fight to tear and regrow his muscles and get stronger so he can whoop ass faster. And that's a fun idea, perpetually lifting till you hit your genetic potential. But there's also a part of me that thinks if it was auto healing, I could also potentially see it just taking you back to what you are now. Like, let's say you're, lifting. It would just keep healing you, but you'd stay looking the same physically and go right back to square one. You wouldn't get tired, and I think your body would get an immunity to stuff like, lactic acid buildup and other fatigue toxins, but instead of making you perpetually grow like, say, Ang Lee's Hulk, you'd still just get in shape, but just not super yoked. I also think it could be possible that your new body would sense what is the ideal frame for you to stay at and help you get there and then maintain that, sort of like how Wolverine and Deadpool can regenerate from bones back to their buff cells. But this is just my theory / hypothesis that we cannot test out yet. Versus if you could heal after training hard, your body is just going through an accelerated healing process, which usually takes us days, but is now done in seconds. So your strength would increase, your muscle mass would boost, your tendon strength as well, your bone strength and cardio conditioning, your VO2 max is increasing, your speed, your explosiveness, the length of time you could run without being fatigued. You also don't have to worry about frying your central nervous system, and the potential of utilizing adrenaline, endorphins, and hysterical strength could be something to be worked on, like like a Baki character, where a normal person who gets a boost of adrenaline and does superhuman feats for a temporary amount of time, their body will start to pull Deku and just do something insanely strong, but then completely break apart. If you could heal from something like that and train without that inherent danger, as long as the blow isn't something like, you know, fatal, you could be like making some serious like strength gains potentially. Depending on your training style and genetics, if you could heal automatically, you'd be on a whole nother level physically and athletically just by repetition. You could also probably break a lot of world records. For example, the world record in the 100-meter sprint is 9.5 seconds by Usain Bolt due to his elite level training. If you could heal, you now have increased work capacity, and you could repeatedly do that until your body reaches its genetic peak. Though I don't think you could break all the world records depending on your body, because some people are just genetically gifted for them. For example, Greg Ernst once backlifted 2,422 kilograms, aka 5,340 pounds, of 2 cars on a platform to set a world record for lifting weights back in the day, and that was in 1993, and this record still has not been broken to this day. If you could heal indefinitely, you get a lot stronger, but you might hit a peak where you physically can't lift anymore due to your height and weight or your size and all this other stuff. There are some people on steroids who won't ever be able to lift as much as some giants due to their genetics, but that's not a bad thing. Every body is different and reacts differently, and it's up to you to find out which body type is best for you. Matter of fact, I talked about that in depth here. But at the end of the day, I think being able to heal like instantly would be great for everyday life if you're just living life. But I think if you were like, you know, someone who like really likes to train and go to the gym, being able to heal afterwards would just be more effective in my personal opinion. Because for me personally, I just think being able to train hardcore, balls to the wall, and then like, you know, being really drained and then just like recovering like that, I think like if you could do that consistently, it would give better results than like just auto healing. But again, in the comment section down below, tell me which would you prefer for yourself. Would you prefer Wolverine auto healing like that, or would you prefer like let's say in this scenario it's like an instant Senzu Bean, so it's not like a thing where it's like, oh, I have to carry them with me, it's just like instantaneous. So like in solo leveling, it's just like, okay, I can just like boom, heal myself, full recover, or anything like that. Like you can always do it anytime. It's not like, oh crap, I forgot to do this. Like you can activate it anytime. So tell me which would you like in the comment section down below, and if you made this far in the video, type in Wolverine solos just so it shows who watched all the way to the end. Thank you to all the patrons on screen, you helped me out a lot, but also a special shout out to Illegally Sane, Kaz the Great, Rex Ashcraft, Alex Friel, Derek Kuntz, Iapu, Earl Benjamin, Jalen Williams, Katrini Thompson, Samurai Girl, Sir Cardis, Tyler Merrington, 4Key K, Abs M. Rice, Abterin, Ethan Chan, my father, Paige, Perry, Rob, Travis Evans, and thank you all so much. All of you are super, just saying. Also, if you're interested in a training routine, check out my programs in the comment section below. They can help a lot of people out. Also, I started a little Discord reward on Patreon for people who like pledge amount just because we can start doing stuff. No toxic bullshit though, because you'll instantly get booted. But like, yeah, that's like a fun thing. And yeah, and of course, if you're interested in like online coaching or anything like that, you can always email me at jaxbladecoaching@gmail.com. But again, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, Momentai. Now go start healing like Wolverine, or like taking care of yourself so you can at least look like Wolverine for a long time. You know what I mean? All right, peace.